What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to show you guys how to diagnose a chain that won't spin. You turn your chainsaw, you give it gas, and it just bogs down and nothing moves. So the first thing you're going to want to check, obviously, is the brake. This is the brake on your chainsaw. Forward, it's on. Click back, it's off. It's designed so if you ever hit something, bump something, you'll bump the brake right down. So this here on our chainsaw, the chain is stuck. And then you want to make sure that there's no debris stuck in between the chain and the bar. That can cause your chain not to move. Say you shut off your chainsaw right after you're cutting a tree, you could have particles jammed up in here, your chain won't move. You're also going to want to make sure that nothing's jammed in here, no sticks or anything like that is jammed in there, causing it not to move on the bottom side too. You're going to want to make sure that your chain's not so tight that it wouldn't be able to move. So we've checked all that. This chain's not tight. It won't move. The brake's not on. In here, nothing, no sticks are in there jammed up or anything. There's no sticks in there. So now you have two sprockets. You have a sprocket here on the end. That's what that is. And the sprocket's teeth are right here. And then you have a sprocket in here. So you're gonna want to remove that cover, but I can already tell, if you can see that purple up there, that this has already been getting hot and burned. The chances are that this sprocket is not moving, probably from heat and probably seized up. And unfortunately, this is my own chainsaw and it's my own fault. This is my first chainsaw and I was not greasing this sprocket and I think I've burned it up. So now I'm gonna have to go buy a brand new bar. But I'll just show you what to look for here. I'm gonna remove this cover. It's just these two bolts and I'll show you. Okay, I just undid those bolts with the chainsaw tool. So now I'm gonna slide this cover off. Okay, now you can see there's a bunch of sawdust there, but the chain still won't move. And now there's a sprocket behind the brake here. Everything's frozen because it was outside. There's a sprocket behind the brake, and you want to make sure that that would move freely. So you're going to want to take your chain off at this point. So you can see here that this chain's loose and this front sprocket will not move. I'm pulling on the chain both ways, it won't move. So that is my problem. This sprocket here should move. It's completely jammed, seized up solid, it won't move. So now when I have it off and I pull on the chain from the back here, it'll move, see? So that brake's all moving. You want to make sure, it might be hard to pick up on the camera, but this outside part of the brake should move. It should spin freely. See, it's spinning. And that sprocket behind it should move too. If that's not moving, you gotta make sure your brake's not jammed, or that sprocket, if that sprocket's not moving at the back, you've got bigger issues. It could be a engine problem, or I'm not even going to go into that. But you also want to make sure that your brake's not jammed. And so this to check your brake, just make sure the disc on the outside spins freely. And if it's spinning freely, your brake should be okay. So it's obvious my problem why my chain wouldn't spin is because of this sprocket at the front. Honestly, the most common problem is for beginners is the brake is on. You can even have the brake off and this be jammed up. I've seen that before on cheaper chainsaws especially. So you just make sure that that's spinning freely and then you know you're not jammed up. So I'm going to take off my bar and see if I can fix this sprocket, or I'm going to go buy a new bar. I just priced out a bar at the local dealer here. It's $100 for the bar. I can get one online for 60 bucks. That's for a Husqvarna brand bar. I'm in a smaller town, so It's about my only options. The ones at Canadian Tire, they don't have one that actually fits my saw in stock. So I'm thinking I might order the one online, but it'll depend. I have another chainsaw. I'm going to see if I can get it running. If I can get it running, I'll order the one online. If I can't, I'll spend the extra 40 bucks and go pick it up locally. Just so, because I have a bunch of wood out in the lake waiting for me. So I hope that helps solve your problem if your chain's stuck. You want to check the brake. You want to check that nothing's jammed up. No sawdust or sticks jammed between the bar and the chain causing that to move. You want to make sure it's clear in here. Nothing causing it not to move. And then, if that's all good, you want to check that your brake's spinning freely, that gear's spinning freely, and your front sprocket is spinning freely. So if all those things are spinning freely, all that is cleaned up and your brake's not on, your chain will move. I hope that helps solve your problems. Just a little update here, guys. I did get my sprocket to free up. It doesn't seem to spin that smooth. You can feel it kind of grabbing. It should spin nice and free. It's what you're supposed to do, and I was not doing this, and that's why this happened. There's a little hole here. There's one on each side of the bar. You're supposed to put some grease in there. There's a little grease gun you can buy every time you put gas in your chainsaw. And I was not doing that. I knew you're supposed to grease it, but I didn't know that often. So I learned the hard way here. But now I am going to buy a grease gun for this, and I will be greasing that every day. Every time I fill up my chainsaw. So, learning the hard way, but at least I'm hoping I can use this bar so I can order the one online and save some money. So hopefully that doesn't happen to you guys. Hopefully this helps you out. Thanks for watching.